I'm sure you agree. These are pretty weird times, not just in Eastern Townships, but all over. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by having to continually strive for that work-life pandemic balance, well, our chat today on how to avoid burnout may be of interest to you. Hello again, my name is Ed Humphrey, and this is a new episode of About Townshippers, where we sit down and we talk about the organizations and the individuals that provide important services to the English-speaking communities spread throughout the beautiful Eastern Townships of Quebec. And right now, it's time for a segment we like to call So when she's here, Jessica Girard from Joblinks Employment Center gives us some advice on a variety of subjects that tie into employment and career development. And in this segment, well, we're going to talk about burnout, which for a long time has been a bit of a taboo subject, but we've been hearing a lot more about it, even before the COVID pandemic. Here's our conversation. Well, hey Jessica, how are you doing today?
Good, and yourself?
Pretty good. Welcome back to About Townshippers.
Thank you.
Hey, Jessica, even before COVID-19 started bothering all our lives here, we were hearing more and more about burnout, and it was becoming more and more prevalent. But now, of course, with all the pressures brought on by COVID, handling personal life and your work life, telecommuting, the stress of maybe not knowing if you're going to have a job in a couple of weeks, the financial downturns in the economy. We're hearing more and more about burnout now. But what is it exactly?
Well, so according to the World Health Organization, it's a syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic workplace stress that hasn't been successfully managed. So essentially, chronic stress that you haven't managed very well.
Okay, so that could be the different stresses from work, from family life, all that mishmash of stuff that's going on.
Exactly.
Okay, so what are some of how would I know if I'm experiencing symptoms of burnout?
So one of the signs is the feeling of energy depletion or exhaustion. So feeling tired all the time, and actually it can be seen on 3 levels. So more on the mental level, so our ability to process information; on an emotional level, so our ability to express feelings based off the information that we're processing; and on a physical level. So that's one of the signs. Another sign is lack of motivation. So lack of internal motivation. It's also sometimes harder to get to work in the morning, and we also sometimes have lack of enthusiasm about just general things. So another impact of burnout and stress is the negative impact on our ability to concentrate. So concentrating on other things. I don't know if you've ever had that problem or.
Oh yeah, I'm the king of not concentrating on stuff. As soon as I'm late for something, or if I'm stressed, or I'm in a rush, that's when I forget my keys and my wallet and my name.
And what do you do when you're stressed?
Oh yeah, I'm the snacker in the house. I mean, yeah, there shouldn't be any chips or chocolate or anything here. I mean, we started during the COVID, we started buying those big bags of chips from Costco.
Yeah.
Oh, just brutal. So yeah, for me, I'm a snacker. So when I get stressed, I forget things, of course, so I don't concentrate, and I snack on stuff, and I just get lazy as well.
Yeah. That is another sign of burnout, right? It's not taking care of yourself like you normally would. And that includes eating junk food or drinking excessively, or not moving enough, not getting enough sleep, self-medicating. So that's another sign of burnout.
Well, it's really easy to do, right? And in this COVID situation, I mean, I'm not the only one buying those chips from Costco. I mean,
no, exactly.
And another thing we touched on a bit earlier is the fact that we're working. A lot of us are telecommuting. We're working at home, but we're living at home as well. So, I'm taking work home with me all the time because I'm already at home.
Yeah, no, and a lot of people do that, right? It's like that that work-life boundary is becoming more and more blurry, especially working from home. It's so easy to work after hours when you don't have that more concrete boundary. So it's important, and that sort of goes into the ways to prevent burnout. So it's important to create a space at home, and it could be working in your office or putting a curtain up or just putting tape on the ground and telling yourself that this is my workspace, and at 4:30 I'm going to go away from that workspace and disconnect.
That's tough. That is tough to
Yeah.
do it, to disconnect. But I know not everybody is telecommuting. Some people are they're back in the office or in their retail space, but there still is that stress there. And I think we're all experiencing it. And we have maybe we all have this feeling that we're not getting enough done.
What's important is that when you're at work, it's important to focus on work things. Try to avoid talking or doing too much personal things at work, just so you can really be as productive as possible. And then when your day is over, then you don't have work to bring home and you can disconnect easier at that point.
Well, I want to touch on that disconnect a bit, or not disconnect, but the unplugging aspect of things. I know you like to work out. You're an athlete. You like to run. I like to work out as well, and it seems that it makes a big difference. When I can go out and burn off some steam, and I can do something else. I can't visit people, so if I can go for a long walk or a hike, it seems to make a huge difference in the way I handle the stress of working at home and the stress of this COVID thing.
Just general activities like volunteering, anything basically that'll help you disconnect. And sometimes just scheduling it into your schedule. So telling yourself that, I finished at 4:30, at 5:30 or at 5, I'm going to go to my running club, or when I meet up with my friend to go walking. That just having that can help us really disconnect from our work life. So it's definitely something that I encourage people to do.
Okay. Another question for you. I don't think it's too personal, but are you a good sleeper?
No.
Oh, okay.
I am not a good sleeper. I am working on it, but I am not a good sleeper.
Okay. Well, I happen to be a really, really good sleeper. I mean, I've been told I can sleep in a bucket of water, if I had to. That must play a big role as well in how we deal with burnout.
It does. So getting less than 6 hours of sleep can have a major, it can be a major risk for burnout, and it can have a major effect on our performance and on our productivity at work. So it's really important, and I know I'm working on it myself, but it's really important to try to get in as much sleep as possible. Well, the 7 to 8 to 9, it all depends on the person.
There's a lot of stuff, right? Is getting enough sleep, eating well, pushing those chips away.
Yeah.
And one thing we haven't talked about is the importance, or correct me if I'm wrong, but the importance of talking about it.
Yeah. So talking to our spouse, talking to our friends, talking to our supervisor or boss, and letting them know that maybe we're more vulnerable, or that we're finding it difficult at the moment, and what can we do, what things that we can put into place to avoid reaching burnout. But also using organizations, so Joblinks, we can help with individuals that are experiencing difficulty at work, but there's also organizations like Mental Health Esprit that can be quite useful.
Well, Jessica Girard, you're a guidance counselor at Joblinks Employment Center here in Sherbrooke. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to be with us today. But if we want to get some more information, either on burnout or on employment tactics, employability tactics, how do we contact you?
So people can contact us by phone at 819-566-2422, by email as well at joblinks at etsb.qc.ca, as well through our website. So the ETSB Joblinks website, and through Facebook, so just under Joblinks.
Great. And we're going to be having another conversation fairly soon. That'll be our third segment. And what are we going to be talking about?
So the subject will be Zoom employment interviews.
Oh yeah, we're all online, right? Everything's happening online these days. Okay.
More and more.
Well, good. I look forward to that. And once again, thanks for being there, and we'll see you next time.
All right, sounds good. Bye, Ed.
Take care. If you'd like to learn more about today's subject or any other employment topics, well, please give Jessica at Joblinks a call or send her an email. Her contact info and the sources for today's chat are in the video description just below. Thank you very much for spending a bit of your time with us today. And if you enjoy this series, well, please, stomp on that like and on the share button. And you can, of course, subscribe to the Townshippers Association's YouTube channel. My name is Ed Humphrey, and we're going to be back next week with a new episode of About Townshippers. See you then.